We back again. You know we never slacking off. Judah Ben, yo. Ladies and gents, get prepared for another greater event. If you never linked, then make an attempt. On Fridays, there's really no other way to be spent. Tune in, hit the link, and leave likes and comments. Welcome to TD Sports Talk. Here we bring sports and entertainment weekly. They break it down deeply. Come peep me as I spit, leave most confused. Pay attention while I introduce the host and crew. Starting off, we got Tommy the host. He plugged in, his predictions transparent like a ghost. Yo, I think that he been doing this the most. He first joined in March 2013. His resume was first seen. Then we got the co-host, Mr. Socrates. His analogy surgical like a doctor squeeze. The live show was nasty like a dirty beer. Tommy and Sock, they've been friends for over 30 years. Peep me, we got the final host, D-Free from out of DC. You need to wake up, you sleepy. If you're checking out the live, then you feel the vibes. Like the video, subscribe, get notified. Take a picture, cause this moment should be polarized. Tommy's legacy and resume is notarized. Whether it's Friday or Saturday, he going live. Click the bell and I promise you'll get notified. Yeah. Welcome to TD Sports Talk. Friday and Saturday. Tune in. They're going live late. Word them up. Shout out to Tommy, Socrates, D-Free. Word them up, word them up. Judah Ben. Yo. Tell a friend to tell a friend, son.
Champion of the world. Shout out to TD Sports. TD Sports. Let's go, chat. What is good, everybody? What is good? Hope everybody is doing well on this Friday the 13th. Is that good luck? Is that bad luck? What kind of luck is it? But it is Friday the 13th here in September, a little bit, almost 15 minutes after 11 o'clock. And another edition of Friday Night Sports Talk. We had a lot to talk about, a lot to cover. It's a big weekend, big fight weekend, and we're going to talk about all that this weekend. Plus, week one of football was last week. We're going to see how our picks did, and then we're going to go into week two with our picks. And, you know, I got my man D-Free up in here already. My other co-host, late as usual, you know, so he's consistent. Socrates, he'll be on in a little bit. We'll wait for him. You know, to talk a little bit about football, but of course about this boxing as well. First things first, let's talk to the guy that is here. D-Free, what's good, bro? How's everything?
Everything good, man. What's good? What's good with you?
Chilling, man. Just another day, another dollar, and of course, minus taxes. So, you know, I'm left with about 23 cents, but you know, I'm smiling and I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't afford to get a shape up today. So, you know, I'm still a little messed up in the beard. But, yeah, we good. We live. We're here, you know what I'm saying? And we got a big fight tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So, we got Canelo Alvarez against Edger Berlanga. Puerto Rico versus Mexico. You know, I mean, it's part of the rival. I don't consider Puerto Rico versus Mexico in that sense that much because, you know, Berlanga, you know, he was born, he was here in Brooklyn, New York, and then now I guess his residence is in Orlando. So, but nevertheless, that's how they're advertising it. That's how they're promoting it. And that's what we got.
Right.
Yeah. So in the building right now, my man Daniel Berry was good. Salute. My man Jax Vibes was good. Thanks for coming through. The Asiatic black man, it's up in the here. My man BVO Boxing says salute to the Puerto Ricans, and then when he says, "Where's my black brother Sock?" He's on his way. You know, he fits a stereotype. You know, always late. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's it for now. But as people come through, I'll shout them out. I know some people watching on Facebook as well. I know my man David's probably watching. He's going to be on later, do his football picks. He had a good week, but we'll get into that later. Only two people went 3-1 last week. So one of them is our co-host, and he'll be talking trash, and it's funny, the one loss that he got was his team. So
yep.
So it's going to be a long year for his Raiders. But yeah, man, so he said, this guy said, stick to all right, BVO. BVO, you're welcome to come up a little bit later. We're just going to flow a little bit. I'm going to give time to see if maybe we might have a special guest come on as well. He said he might come on, so I'm not going to say his name right now unless he pops up, and he pops up. If not, we'll still rock out. But, yeah, D-Free. So what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? We'll go right to it. Let's go right to the main event. We got to, there's some other fights in the card, but let's go right to the main event. Let's go to it. Berlanga and Canelo. What do you think is going to happen? Are you looking forward to this? I mean, what's your feeling?
I think Berlanga gonna come out. He's gonna start off fast. He's gonna use his boxing ability that he has, because he does have decent boxing ability for a guy his size. When he does decide to box and not stand in front of his opponent, he does have decent boxing ability. I think he's gonna come out and start fast and try to knock Canelo out. He want to be the first person to knock Canelo out. But the problem is, when it gets to round 5, round 6, round 7, Berlanga starts to slow down. And that's when Canelo starts to turn up. I think Canelo is going to do similar to what he did to Jermell Charlo. He's going to catch him with a good body shot. It's going to empty out that gas tank even faster. And Berlanga is going to be sitting in front of him for the most part of that second half of that fight. And I got Canelo probably stopping Berlanga somewhere around probably between 7 and 9. I think Berlanga going to get stopped somewhere between 7 and 9, because Berlanga's already been stopped. I mean, he's been dropped. He hasn't been stopped. He's been dropped.
Yeah.
And he went life and death with what was the Quigley? Something like that, Quigley or something like that. And then that fight that he had with Steve Rhodes, a lot of people believe that he lost that fight against Steve Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Canelo, he's a veteran. He's been in there with a lot of crafty fighters. He knows he got great upper body movement. Canelo, at one time, it was looking like Canelo was starting to slow down, but the last couple of fights, Canelo started looking like the old Canelo. He was showing a lot of head movement, a lot of upper body movement. So I think Canelo still has something left in the tank. I don't think he want to relinquish being the top of the division just yet. So I think Canelo is gonna show this young lion that, hey, you still Simba. I'm Mustafa right now. You still Simba. So you got to grow before you can take this crown from me. So I think Canelo's going to stop him between 7 and 9.
Okay. Well, I'm a little conflicted here because, I have some biases and then I have some dislikes. And let's just put it this way. I'm always biased towards the Puerto Rican fighter. Although I'm not much of a fan of Berlanga outside of the ring, and I think he does a lot of, goofy stuff outside the ring. But, and I don't like Canelo. I like Canelo as a fighter, but I don't like, the moves that he's made. Obviously, he's fighting a guy that nobody called for. Nobody called for this. We all called for David Benavidez. Even a David Morrell fight would have been just, but nobody called for Edger Berlanga. I'm happy Edger Berlanga got the fight. I'm happy for his team. Socrates is close to the trainers. He knows the Ferrer brothers well, so it'd be good for them. It's a good, obviously probably a good payday for them, and obviously a great moment for them as well. But I'm rooting for Berlanga. I'm rooting for him. I think as my man Drew Titan said, for the greater good of boxing, right? We need Berlanga to win. I just don't think he wins though. I'm gonna root hard, but I'm gonna pick Canelo. Now, I don't think Berlanga's gonna go in there and try to take his head off right away. I don't see that happening. I think he's gonna try to box. He's gonna establish, some type of jab, and he's gonna, they got some type of game plan. And I think the game plan is to box, to fight tall, to use his jab, to use his range, and then, try to set up traps and, maybe, stun him with that big right hand and see what happens. The thing with Berlanga is what I've seen other people say in other chats and other videos, and I 100% agree, is his mental stage and his experience. And I just feel like once Canelo maybe brings him into like a firefight and maybe bangs him or, or gets his attention, I think that's when we'll see the Berlanga, how good Berlanga is. Is Berlanga gonna, stick to the game plan, or is he gonna get into a firefight? If he gets into a firefight with Canelo, I believe he has no shot. I really do. I really believe he has no shot, and Canelo stops him. Another thing I want to see the dog in Berlanga, right? Obviously, we've seen Berlanga drop before, but if Canelo hits him, is he, I want to see if Berlanga is going to come back up and try to fight and not run like maybe like what Charlo did. Charlo didn't really engage in that fight. So these are the things I want to see, and, I'm intrigued by that. But as far as intrigued in this matchup overall, I'm not really, because this is not what we want. But this is what we got, and we got to kind of like deal with it. So I'm thinking, Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I agree with you. I'm rooting for Berlanga because, I mean, let's be honest. The bigger story would be if Berlanga beats Canelo or stops Canelo. That's the bigger story. We already assume that Canelo's going to win this fight, so it's not going to really be nothing much to talk about, except for unless Canelo stops him and like we say, oh, Canelo stopped Berlanga or whatever. A lot of people already see him stopping him. So it's not really a big story if Canelo wins. The bigger story is if Berlanga could pull off the upset, and it would be a bigger story if he can actually stop Canelo, because nobody's ever did that. Nobody's ever even made him touch the canvas.
Exactly.
So if he can do that, that would be the bigger story. Now I'm rooting for Berlanga as well, because I'm one of those ones, when you're supposed to take a fight and you go take an easier fight, I believe some things should happen that normally don't supposed to happen.
Yes.
So I'm rooting for Berlanga in that sense, because I don't think Berlanga is the better fighter, but I do think he possesses some skills that can give Canelo problems, and he does have power. We know Canelo has a chin, but at some point, as you keep chipping away at that chin, it's going to crack at some point. At some point, that chin is going to crack.
Yeah.
So could it be this fight? Who knows? We'll see on tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree. And, I just think that a lot of people are expecting Berlanga to go in and just like go for it. It could very well happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen except Team Berlanga, right? I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to go in there and box. I think you're going to see a traditional feel out round in round one. You're not going to see, Hagler Hearns in there, right? You may see that later on in the fight, but you won't see that in the first, second round. No, I don't think so. I mean, like I said, anything can happen. But I think you're going to see Berlanga try to work the jab. He's going to box. He's going to, he's going to move around a little bit, and he's going to try to see what he can, if he could get Canelo a little frustrated and try to set him up, set some traps up, set up that right hand. I really do believe that, and I really believe that is their best shot. I think that's their best chance at winning. So hopefully Sock, gets on soon enough, and he'll talk about it, because he knows the Ferret brothers more than I do. And he'll probably give a better breakdown as far as maybe the game plan. I'm intrigued to see who Sock is going for and who he picks as well. I know he's rooting for them because of the brothers, but I don't think Sock is a fan of Berlanga himself. So I'm interested to see what Sock is going to say when he gets on. But yeah, I mean, I hope for the upset. It'll be great for boxing. I think it'll make the card better than what it is. I'm not too excited for this card overall. The undercard,
like I told everybody earlier this week. I believe I was on somebody else's channel. I can't remember who channel I was on. But I said, if you really break down this card, this is really more of a showcase card for a lot of the guys who's coming back. Cool Boy, he's been out for over a year after he lost to Monster anyway. This is his first fight back. And
Yes.
then you got the Caleb Plant fight. He's been out for about a year since he lost to David Benavidez.
Yes.
And so, and then you got who is the other guy? Oh, Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia's been out for 2 years.
2
The last
years.
fight he had was Jose Benavidez.
Yep.
So this is more of a showcase fight. Now Danny, that might be the fight of the night, Danny versus Lara, because both of these guys. Well, Danny is coming off a long layoff. He only had one fight in the last 4 years. He had a fight with Earl Spence in 2020, and then he had a 2-year layoff, and then he had a fight with Jose Benavidez in 2022. Now he's coming back from another 2-year layoff. So he only had one fight in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So when you look at Danny, yeah, he's the younger guy, but he's coming off a long layoff. And he's moving up a little higher than what he was when he fought Jose Benavidez, because that was at 54. I think they fighting at 57. So it's still the 160 weight class, but it's a little bit under 160. It's like a catch weight, but it's really not.
Oh, it is a catch weight. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a catch weight, but it's really not, because as long as you're not above 160, you're fighting the 160 weight class. Anything over 54 to 160 is the 160 weight class.
I got you.
They saying it's a catch weight, but it's really not. The 160 is the limit that you can be at. It's not actually the weight that you have to come in at. But so they fighting at a catch weight. But Lara, he's the older guy. I think Lara's like 40, 41. But as Lara got older, he got some of that Floyd Mayweather in him, because he doesn't move around the ring as much as he did when he was younger. He sits down a lot on his punches, but he has that upper body movement where he can make you miss. And the thing is, Lara has a 7-inch arm reach advantage. So he can sit in the pocket with Danny and catch Danny where Danny can't be able to hit him back, because Danny only got a 68-inch arm reach. Lara got a 70, I think it's a 73. Oh no, he got 7-inch arm reach. So Lara got some long arms. His joint's like a 75, 74, 75-inch arm reach. So he got long arms. So Danny he not gonna be in range to be able to hit Lara. Danny literally got to get in close to be able to hit Lara. And I think Lara is gonna, and a lot of people saying I'm reaching by saying Lara's gonna stop Danny. Everybody like, oh, look, Danny got a chin, dog. He's never been down. Dog, you don't have to hit him in the chin to stop him. He can hit him in the body and stop him. Everybody thinking about the chin. That body is there too. So I still think Lara is gonna stop Danny, because I'm just looking at the height and the reach advantage, and he's the bigger fighter. He's the more active fighter as well, and he let his hands go more than Danny do. Danny is a natural counterpuncher, so Danny waits to react. He don't really throw punches first. He will at times, but he's waiting to react. Well, while you sitting there waiting to react, Lara's going to tee off on you, and at some point you're going to get tired of getting hit, and your body just going to shut down. So I don't see a way for Danny to win this fight. Now, he might go the distance, but I just think Lara's gonna stop him. I think Lara's gonna stop him. That 2-year weight, 2-year layoff, you moving up in weight, and you fighting a guy who's natural. He seemed like he got better since he got the 160.
Yeah. No, I agree with everything you said. It's funny. You broke that down, and like, so in the beginning, I was saying I was all on Lara. The bottom line is I have Lara winning this fight comfortably, and in the beginning, I was like, Lara's gonna stop him. Earlier today, I started thinking a little more, and then I think I jumped in on Southern T's live for a little bit, and I was like, I think this is going to decision. I don't think Danny's gonna find a way to survive, and he's never been stopped, and he's been hurt, but he's never been stopped. So I think Lara by decision. But now I don't know. But the bottom line is I think Danny with the long layoffs, and Lara's now got a more aggressive style. Like, Lara can box, but he's more aggressive. He's been getting knockouts now. He's going for the stoppages. I don't think this is good for Danny. Danny's last fight, I was there. I saw it personally. You know, he won, but he didn't look good. He went up and went 150. He didn't look good against Jose Benavidez. Some people thought Benavidez might have won or it could have been a draw. Like it was a close fight. I personally thought Garcia won, but he didn't look too good. And you know, after the fight, you know, he was crying, and also his mentals were not right. I guess that's why the long layoff. He got his mind right. You know, Danny had a great career. That was what's great about Danny's career is that he's got pretty much all his money he's invested well. And I respect that and I admire that. And I think that's the way to go. I just don't think he should be boxing again. And I think this is a dangerous fight to take after 2 years. You know, maybe they feel like, you know, he can't hurt him and they can land something. You know, kudos to them. And you know what? Like it's boxing. Anything can happen. You know, and Lara has been stopped and Lara's has been dropped. And Lara's been beaten up before, you know, but Lara's a good fighter. And now he's a little bit more aggressive. So,
yeah, I mean, and that's another thing that you mentioned too. That's another thing that you mentioned. Danny's not hurting for money.
Yeah.
He's not hurting for money. So when the tough gets going, will Danny check out? Will you check out because you like, you know what? I don't need this.
Yeah.
I don't need this. Because I'm good. I'm good. I got all my senses. I got enough money stocked away. I'm doing good financially. I'm not gonna sit here and get beat up. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and check out. So
I think he has a lot of pride though. I don't think he would check out. I think his pride,
Yeah, but when you start to have mental problems,
that's true too.
It could fall back and play a part in the fight. See, I don't like when you have so many things going on in your life. I don't like favoring those type of guys. You had mental issues. You had a long layoff. You moving up in weight. It's a lot of things going on. I'm like, I don't know. And everybody kept saying, "Oh, you saw Danny can move around the ring." No, he was fighting against Jose Benavidez. That man might be the only person that moves less than Danny does.
Yeah.
He's the only person that moves less than Danny does. So, yeah, of course, Danny's going to have feet with somebody who don't move their feet at all. So, I just don't see no way that Danny can win outside of maybe getting lucky and landing that left hook. That's the only way I see it. He wins this fight.
Yeah, I mean, I just think Lara's just too experienced and just, you know, he's a total professional. I mean, he's going to be in great shape. You know, he steps on the gas more. You know, they're both fresh, right? Because Lara's been out for a while too, so they're both fresh. But Danny's been out way too long.
Laura just fought in March.
Yeah, so but he's still fresh, right? That was it. That's 6 months, right?
Yeah, Laura just fought in March, so Laura's active.
Yeah, I mean,
so and
this is not good. You know, it's not good for Danny. Danny's looking to get paid.
We might end up seeing the co-main and the main event with 2 Puerto Ricans getting knocked out.
I don't know if Danny gets knocked out though. I mean, it's going to be tough. My man Pedro says he's looking to get paid and leave unhurt. Lara's too big. The Cuban pedigree. I agree with all that. The only thing is about the getting paid. I don't think he needs the money. That's the thing. I don't understand. Like Danny has most of his money. You know,
Danny don't need the money. He got real estate. He got money saved up from the fights that he had. He's not hurting for money at all. Danny is well off. Danny got money stacked up. He's well off. He's not hurting for money at all.
He's got more money than a lot of fighters that been in probably bigger fights too, because he's done well with his money from what we hear. I mean, we don't know personally, right? But you know, he says Danny is greedy. Hey, then there it goes. He's greedy.
I mean, Danny might. I mean, he might want the money, but see, the thing is, you're not gonna be able to. You can't outrun somebody who's a better boxer than you. Laura got better footwork than Danny. So even though Laura hasn't been using his footwork as of late, even at his old age, he still has better footwork than Danny. So I don't see Danny getting away from him.
What's up, Marky Dan? Marky Dan, you got a lot of background noise, so try to bring that down a little bit if you can.
Marky Dan, put the cows
Yeah, that's
away.
TV.
Put the
Huh?
put the
Nah,
cows
that's
and
just
the
the
horses
TV.
away.
And that's D3 being a racist. But how you doing, Thomas? It's good to see
I'm
you.
all right. How's everything? How's everything with
What
you?
you think about the two fights that we talked about? The Danny and Laura and the Edger Berlanga and Canelo.
Let's start with the Danny and Lara. I see Lara absolutely outclassing Danny. Danny has not fought in a year and a half or whatever, and before that he
26
was on a
months.
long layoff.
2 years.
It's been
There you
26
go.
months. 26 months since Danny fought.
Now you fighting at 160 against a master like Lara who's sitting down on his punches more. I
Yep.
see Danny getting stopped in this fight bad because Lara been sleeping. Oh my god, bro, he been stiffening up dudes,
Yeah.
straight starch stuff. So I don't know. Maybe Danny could put up a good fight while it lasts, but nah, I see Lara stopping him. Then
That's a good one. Hold on. You look at the comment. My man Pedro says, let's all make a pick. How many rounds will Berlanga win? Let's do that. Let's do that when we get to it. When we get after Marky Dan breaks it down. And then we got the guy that's always late but always consistent, Mr. Socrates Palmer.
Yo, Sacco.
What's going on, Sock?
What's cracking, Marky Dan? D3, what up, baby? Triple
What's
T.
going on?
Yo, we're all three on. This is the earliest we've been on, together for a while. So
we are back, baby. We are fucking back. We're back. Classic. We are back. We are back. We are back.
We are back. We are back.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. That was epic, Thomas. I like that shit.
Oh man.
Pedro.
That is the boxing PhD. That's what Pedro calls Sock. Sock's been good on his predictions within the last couple of years. He's been spot on this stuff. So, but we'll let Marky Dan finish what he was saying with the Danny Garcia and Lara fight. We'll go to you, Sock, and then we'll go into Berlanga and Canelo.
No, that was pretty much it. I got Berlanga. I got Danny getting stopped. Probably in I give Danny maybe 6 to 8 rounds.
Oh, so you said getting stopped between 6 and 8 rounds?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say you're giving him 6 to 8 rounds. Okay. So you say Lara and 6 in between 6
middle
and 8
rounds. Yep.
Okay. Do you think he stops him or Danny quits? Because we've never seen Danny get really get dropped. So.
But we ain't never seen Danny at 160 either.
True.
And not only that, this is a different version. This is a Danny that ain't fought in 2 years and has a bunch of real estate that he likes to brag about. He brags about that shit more than he brags about his fighting skills now. So yeah, I think this is just. I really don't know why Danny came back. I don't know if he really sees himself winning this fight, or if maybe it was a good payday. I don't know, but I see him getting stopped.
Well, maybe he's bragging about real estate. Maybe Pedro's onto something. He says Danny's greedy. So, yeah, Sock, what do you think?
Well, the one thing I've always Danny Garcia is a pro, and when I say he's a pro, I mean the fact that I think he's able to be good enough to not get hurt, and he's gonna pick his spots and almost be happy to go to the distance. Lara is not a great puncher, but he's a good puncher. And lately, Lara's older, so he's sitting down on his shots. I'm not really putting much credence into the fight that he had against my guy from Jersey, Cornflake Lamana. I've never seen someone get knocked out with a shot to the shoulder. That looked as legitimate as that Shannon Sharp Instagram video. that was an accident, right?
You just had to. You just had to, Si. You just had to.
So I think Danny. Do I think Danny wins? No. Even Danny in his prime doesn't touch Lara, but I think Lara schools him. I think Danny's smart enough to go the distance, and kind of like in the Errol Spence fight, Danny doesn't go for it. He knows how to put it in neutral, basically, and I think that's what you're going to see. Danny will have his moments, but Lara's going to watch him. You know, he's going to win pretty solidly, and but I don't see Danny getting stopped. I would be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how accurate this is, but they're both getting $500K a piece, so that's a good reason to come back for Danny Garcia.
That's a good payday.
Can I say something real quick? Y'all remember that fight he had with Earl Spence?
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Remember, I believe Angel Garcia was about to stop that fight. He's about to stop that fight because Danny was getting beat up badly. He was getting beat up by Earl.
I don't remember him like I remember Earl winning pretty one-sidedly, but I don't think he was getting punished.
No,
right.
He was getting beat up badly by Earl. Angel kept saying, "I need to see something from you. I need to see something from you."
But I think that had more to him. I think that had more to do with him motivating Danny, because I don't think Danny was getting beat up that bad.
Right.
Danny got beat up
urgency.
worse than I've ever seen in his entire career. Danny got beat up badly.
Yeah.
Now Danny, it's funny because Danny's best win, but right now, what do you think is Danny's best win? It has to be Matisse. Right? Well,
Matisse, yeah. Matisse, and then after that would probably be Amir Khan because he was underdog. Yeah. They people predicted Amir Khan. Yeah, people picked Amir Khan to stop him.
But he was losing that fight.
Yeah, he was losing that fight, and he caught him. Yeah, the first few rounds.
That was his best win. That was the best win because that gave him his second division championship, I believe. Did he beat Amir Khan for that title, or was that title awarded to him?
That's a good question. I'm not sure because he beat Morales already once, I think. Because he fought Morales twice, right?
Guys.
It was way after the Morales fight.
Guys, quick side note.
Put him on the map.
Okay.
But I mean, if you look at the names that he beat, Amir Khan is probably the biggest name that he's beat.
But Matisse was built up as
he was a monster.
Yeah, Matisse was built as a monster, and he was on a roll. Matisse.
He destroyed.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about far as notoriety. Amir Khan was the biggest name. People diehard know who Matisse is, but a lot of people know who Amir Khan is.
I agree with that.
Real quick, Sock. He fought Morales once. He fought Morales twice. And Amir Khan was in between both fights. It wasn't way after. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had beaten Morales already, and then he beat Khan, and he fought Morales again. The Morales, the second fight shouldn't have happened. It was some BS. Remember they were saying that they were cheating or something like it was. That's
just Eric Morales being somebody.
No, in the second fight they were saying
somebody wasn't in his corner. That's what happened in that fight.
Okay, I apologize.
Yeah, no, that's all right. He beat Kendall Holt, I think, before that. But I
think Amir Khan was the biggest win because he was the most notable name on his resume. Like he got names on his resume, but Amir Khan is the most noticeable.
Amir Khan was supposed to be like the Arab was supposed to be like the Arab Oscar De La Hoya.
Well, if you don't add the context to age, then Zab Judah will be the biggest name on his resume.
That was a big fight, but Zab Judah was, kind of like his end of the career.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't add the context and just the
name. Zab hurt him in that fight. I think Zab got dropped and he hurt Garcia. Remember, Garcia had like a gash on his forehead.
Yeah, I mean, Danny's fought. I mean, you look at his resume. I mean, Porter, Peterson, Spence. I mean, he was part of building that PBC brand.
Yeah.
He originally the Golden Boy, right? I remember he was originally a Golden Boy, and probably look. Put it this way: if your son grew up to be Danny Garcia, you'd be happy. He's got all his faculties. He made a lot of money. More importantly, he's kept most of his money, and he's never gotten in trouble. And he's married to a dime. And his mom is.
Why did I figure he was going to throw that in there?
So it's like, Danny's had a good career.
His mom lived on a golf course, Sock.
His mother's hot.
I believe you.
Salute to
Puerto
Angel.
Rican.
Salute to Angel, of course.
Salute to
Sock,
Angel.
of course, bringing the what is it? The intangibles or whatever. I mean, the other attributes.
You know, I mean, I'm rooting for Danny tomorrow.
I'm rooting for Danny because he probably the only Puerto Rican that has a chance of winning.
Damn.
I mean, what
Woo!
about Xander Zayas, DeFrilio? Isn't that somebody that
No,
y'all
we're
are
talking
rooting
about
for?
tomorrow's card, though. We're talking about
Oh,
tomorrow's
tomorrow.
card.
Okay, just tomorrow. Just tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
Damn. So no hope for your boy Berlanga free? No hope for your countryman?
Man, I go strictly.
He's born in the United States.
I mean, we both was born in the United States.
Exactly.
I go strictly.
No support for your kin?
No, I go strictly off of what I see, skill level, and Berlanga. He's not ready for a guy like Canelo. He hasn't even fought anybody to get him ready for Canelo.
Yeah.
Now, if he would have had some fights that you could say, okay, you know what? I think he might be ready. We haven't seen no fights like that. We had some fights that say, you know what? I think he need to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. He went on I'm not going to deny that, DeFrilio. He went on a 3-fight robbery streak. So, yeah, I could definitely see him getting beat up, put to sleep. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I could see Canelo hitting him with an uppercut, Berlanga's body flailing out of the ring ropes, flying into an announce table. That's what I would like to see. I think that would be the most exciting.
Wow.
What I would like to see, I would like to see Berlanga put Canelo to sleep. I would like to see Berlanga to put Canelo to sleep. That's what I would like
too,
to see.
but the more possible outcome would be Berlanga getting put to absolute sleep.
No,
so I want the most entertaining outcome.
Okay.
No, the most entertaining outcome. The most entertaining outcome. Go.
Do you think that Berlanga will give an honest effort? Do you think he's going to come to win?
I think he's going to come to win.
He?
I think he's going to come to win.
I
think that's the reason why he's going to get stopped.
They said he's only making $500K in this fight, and Canelo's taking all the back end.
No, that's not true.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
Then I apologize. Allegedly.
No, it's not true. I saw the same post too. He will be the only person that has fought Canelo in the last 5 years to make the least amount of money by fighting Canelo. No, you don't.
Yeah, that makes more sense. 500K. That's.
But it's still a nice purse.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. No. What I'm saying is, by him getting only 700K or 500K, what is the point of fighting Canelo? You fight Canelo because he's the money man. That's why you fight Canelo.
Because if you beat him, what then, free?
No,
you got all of Puerto Rico behind you.
Yeah.
You got all of New York behind you.
What was Berlanga's last purse? What was his last purse?
I don't know.
The Irish guy in Florida.
Most of the numbers I'm seeing is saying between 700,000 and 500,000 free. Well, no. I lied. That's what it said. That's what it said.
It's possible. And then he's probably getting he's probably getting a percentage
for Quigley.
Yeah, he's probably getting a percentage off of the pay-per-view.
So what I'm saying is that's what he got for his last purse. If that's what he got for his last purse, I need to get more money. I'm fighting Canelo Alvarez. I got that fighting Quigley Wiggly.
They probably gave him $1.5 million. $1.5 million.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. That's wrong. Everybody that's fought Canelo, Caleb Plant, Charlo, John Ryder. I don't even know how much John Ryder got. I never even looked up his number. But Caleb Plant and Charlo, they all got like 10 mil. They all got like 10 mil.
Supposedly, I know the 10 million for Plant. I've read that, but to this day I don't believe it. I mean, it's possible, but that 10 million Plant got.
But Ryder and Charlo were champions.
I don't know because Plant had some leverage. Plant had some leverage.
I'm not saying Berlanga get 10 mil, but I'm saying he's getting a couple mil.
Yeah,
I'm saying
he's probably gonna. Now, I say about $3 million.
Yeah, he probably getting somewhere around there, around 3 million to start off, and then the back end on the pay-per-view. Whatever. I mean, you probably getting like 10% or he probably getting like 10% of the pay-per-view numbers.
Man, Canelo ain't giving Berlanga no goddamn pay-per-view.
Well, it's all on a promoter.
He getting that man a flat fee. Take it or leave it, nigga. We don't need you.
He asked for him. He asked for Berlanga.
You still gonna take that $3 million, freak?
Yeah.
Look,
he asked for Berlanga.
Now, do you ask yourself why would Berlanga's team put him in the biggest fight? You know, and we probably all would agree a little prematurely, right? He hasn't earned it. He hasn't shown that he can even compete at this A level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Earlier in the year, Edger Berlanga was trying to get out of his contract with his manager.
Yep. I was saying that. Yep.
And you know, I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, these opportunities don't come around like so often. Like you said, we don't need you. You need us. So, you know, and about a month before the fight was signed, Mark Ferre was quoted as saying, "No, I don't think we're ready for this fight." But at the end of the day, it's the manager and the fighter that's going to say yes. And of course, you have to back your man. You know, so I wish I wish tomorrow we were talking about Munguia and Berlanga. I think that would have been a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
That's a fight that you develop fighter. But this almost
you also
like
got to think about it. The team eats off of that. Well, we don't know the exact price, but we're saying $3 million. The team eats off of that $3 million.
Exactly.
So they pushing him for that fight.
Exactly. You know, and either way, he's going to go home with a nice payday. It's going to be a nice Christmas in the Berlanga home. Berlanga did not by Sunday. Edger Berlanga should have no mortgage payments. His mother should have no mortgage payments. The car should be paid for. All right, and enough.
Nah, the top rank bags already paid for that stock. They should have been paid that.
Well, you would think, right? But why did he leave Top Rank? You know, so.
Did he leave Top Rank or did they leave him?
No, he left. He left.
I think it was mutual. I think
it's mutual because they had to get out of the contract because the contract was still, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
you know, he was a free agent, you know, and he chose Eddie Hearn over Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah.
You know, which is why the Golden Boy has been. Right?
Have you guys seen that? Have you guys seen the?
Oh, those are great.
Oh man, he got at Raul Marquez, right?
No, Juan Manuel.
Juan Manuel Marquez, yeah. He got at him hard. He's like,
Juan Manuel was, you know, accusing him of taking more than he was supposed to have taken during his Pacquiao. Was it the Pacquiao purse?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm happy that a friend of mine is getting some recognition on the big stage. You know, Mark Ferre. I've known him for many years, and he is an inspirational story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it has been documented because I really haven't watched any of the pre-fight hype or read any articles. This is a guy that did a 17-year stretch, okay, in a correctional facility in Massachusetts when he was barely 18. And you talk about a guy that did a 360 on his life, is Mark Ferre. He became an electrician. He started his own business. And boxing was in his blood because of his father, Pastor Ralph Ferre, who passed away. And he totally turned his life around. It's not his first rodeo. This is the biggest show. This is the biggest show that he's had. But he's worked with world-class fighters. He worked with Argenis Mendes, former world champion. He went to France and with Giovanni Lorenzo and challenged, I believe it was for the IBF middleweight title against Knockdown Njam in France. You know, so Mark has been around boxing for a long time. So I don't think the moment is going to get to him. I want to see what happens. Now, he's not the one in the ring fighting ultimately.
Yeah.
Those lights are going to be very bright tomorrow. And I think the first 3 rounds are going to be really important for Edger Berlanga. You know, because I mean, let's put our dazzling hats on, right? We have to sell Berlanga having a little bit of chance. Well, What would you say, Tom, is Berlanga's if he's going to have any chance of winning? What does he have to do?
Well, I said it earlier. So we started off the show before you guys get on, and I think his best chance is what I believe he will do in the first early rounds, and I believe that he's going to come out and try to box. He's going to try to outbox Canelo. A lot of people feel that Berlanga's best chance is to go head on with Canelo, and just because he's a bigger guy, and I disagree. I don't think that is his best shot. You know, especially with the experience Canelo has over him. I think his best shot is, and based on who his trainers are, right, and his team is, I think they're going to go out and they're going to try to outbox Canelo. They're going to try to establish the jab. They're going to try to fight tall, use his height, and they're going to try to set traps. And I believe that's his best chance, and I believe you will see that at least in the first few rounds. You'll see that. My thing is, what may happen is is Canelo going to draw him in to that firefight? If Canelo hits him with something solid, will Berlanga turn? You know,
Right.
because that's the biggest problem, in my opinion, of Berlanga, his mentals. You know, so I think that's his best chance, and I believe that's what he's going to do early on. Whether he established that for 12 rounds is another story, and I don't think he can. But I think that's the game plan, and that's his only shot, is to try to outbox Canelo and do something like Bivol did, right? But, you know, sit on his punch on that right hand more, set up traps, but he's going to have to work his jab, and he's going to have to fight tall. So that's what I feel, and that's what I said early on.
Yeah,
Now,
I want to see what happens when he gets hit. How he reacts.
Excuse me?
I want to see how he reacts to getting hit.
And I said that too. I want to see.
Because I mean, everyone has a game plan until you get hit, right?
Yeah.
And then your nature comes out. You know, so D-Free, I'm sorry, you want to get into it.
D-Free, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm gonna say, do you think that Berlanga is good enough to outbox Canelo?
Me? No.
Because Canelo's been in there with a lot of good boxers. He's been in there with Caleb Plant. He's been in there with Caleb Plant. He's been in there with Lara. He's been in there with Floyd Mayweather, with Shane Mosley. He's been in there with a lot of good boxers. I don't know if Berlanga is good enough to outbox him.
No, I don't think so either. I think it's his best chance. But the difference between Berlanga and those guys, right, is like, yeah, he's not. I don't think he's a better boxer, but he's more powerful than those guys you mentioned. So, like, if he does, you know, set something up and, you know, gain his respect, I think that'll be his chance right there, right, and get his respect from Canelo. Then maybe, you know, the fight goes a different way. You know, I'm not saying he's the better boxer, and I don't think he can outbox him, but I'm just saying I think that's his best shot, and I think that's going to be the game plan of what, you know.
Yeah,
you know,
see,
to try to beat him.
The thing that I seen when Edger Berlanga, when he moved up in quality of opponents, that power hasn't been there. He hasn't been able to get those guys out of there because he was known for knocking everybody out in the first round.
Yeah.
Once he started moving up the quality of opponents, he wasn't getting those guys out of there. That power seemed like it dwindled away once he got past round 3. That power went away.
Well, if you notice,
I think that's bad matchmaking. I think they had.
No. On the contrary, I think that was the right matchmaking by Top Rank. Because Top Rank, towards the end, his contract was starting to fade out, right? That's when he stopped getting those knockouts. You know, so, you know, I think that Top Rank, not that they were setting them up to fail, but, you know, I think it was, and then they wanted to test him, you know, see what they had. And who he went the distance, the Canadian dude that fought Triple G.
Yeah.
Was it not Rose, right? Or something.
Rose, right.
Rose, yeah.
Rose.
Yeah, I think that 15 fight first round knockout streak, that was the worst thing that could have happened to Berlanga. It stunted his growth, or it stunted his development in a way, because he can't never get them first 7 years of his career back. He can't never go back to those fights and learn nothing. All he has from those is just violent knockouts. So all he had was confidence going into those Angulos and what's the name of the other boy that Triple G fought? Steve Cruz or whatever. Those dudes
Steve
beat
Rose,
Berlanga.
right? Steve Rose.
Yeah,
I think
Steve Rose. Steve Rose. To me, Berlanga lost to both of those dudes. Both of them. And I didn't think it was really that close.
Well, the guy who fought the Argentina guy in the undercard, the Fury, was it the Fury? He dropped him. I thought that should have been at least a draw.
That's the boy that almost beat Billy Joe.
Yeah, I thought that should have been at least a draw, and they gave Berlanga the decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now at the time, that's when he was working with Andre Rozier.
Yes,
you know, and I think this is his fourth fight back with his original trainer, Mark.
No, third.
Okay.
Third fight back. Yeah.
Third fight. You know, I look. The one thing he has is size and youth, right? You know, but is he willing to impose it? But Canelo's, if you look at Canelo's been the smaller guy pretty much, I would say the last 5 years, 6 years, you know.
Yeah.
He's used to it.
You know, so he's used to it. I mean, Danny Jacobs was a huge middleweight, you know, Kovalev, and I mean, he's only got beat up once. That was B-ball.
Now, let me say this. I do agree with D Free in this sense. I would like to see Canelo get knocked out. Because when you think about it, this is a fight between good and evil. Do we really want the culture of what Canelo has brought to the sport of boxing to continue? Do we want that to permeate with him retiring and then going on to fight a Conor McGregor? Because they're already talking about it. And I don't think that it gets better from Berlanga from here. I think he might even retire and just go ahead with the Conor McGregor. So, yeah, I hope Berlanga sleeps him, takes those belts off of him, hopefully gets a rematch, sleeps him again, and gets Canelo up out the sport. That would be the best outcome.
Is Canelo the first guy to do this?
No, he is not.
Right. It's just, you know.
But typically, well, go ahead, Stock. My bad.
No, I mean, he's not the first guy to do it. You know, I think that, look, I mean, we would all like to be talking about him versus Benavidez tomorrow. That, I mean, if it's him versus Benavidez, it's like, you know, it's Christmas in September, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the fight everyone wants to see. You know, he's clearly ducking him, and for what reason? You know, I don't think he's afraid of him. I think he's just that arrogant and that, you know, I'm the prettiest girl at this party, and you have to talk to me. You know, I don't think it's I'm scared. No, I don't think so.
Do I want that whole ass shit in boxing, Sock? Do we really want that?
I mean, we weren't on the air back
you hurt
then,
my feelings, so now I'm not
going
going to fight you. Or, you supposed to be below me, so now I'm not going to give the fans what they want.
Well, like I say, he's not the first guy to do it. I think, at least of the modern era, the guys that we can remember, I think this is a Mayweather blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
And we killed Floyd, Sock. So it's Canelo's turn to get killed.
I mean, the real guys killed him, yeah. You know, but it's just the latest to happen. You know, and it won't be the last. Trust me, it won't be the last time this happens. You know, whenever you have the leverage.
Yeah. Pedro says Canelo culture? ?
I just
put young man.
I just think
best outcome nobody has gone 3.5 years ducking number one. Can you imagine Joe Frazier not fighting Ali for 3.5 years? Yeah, you're right.
There you go.
Yeah. Look, it's not good for boxing at all. But he's got the leverage.
Frazier would be disrespected on an entirely different level if he did that to Muhammad Ali.
Well, I'll tell you what. The reason why I want Berlanga to knock Canelo out is because it's going to make for a good conversation Sunday morning.
Of Saturday late night. You know, that everyone.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to get a good conversation either way, because you're going to get either a big upset, right? And everybody's going to talk about, you're going to get like, you see, I told you, this is not what we wanted to see. I'm sick of Canelo fighting, you know, guys that we don't want to see. So I think you're going to get it either way. You know what I'm saying?
It's a no-win. Only you know, when that check clears for Canelo.
They going to come on? Are you going to give Canelo credit now for fighting these young, hungry punchers?
I see somebody, we got a comment. They just need to give us Inoue versus Tank. You think
Stop.
Inoue is ready for Tank? Like he has to go up two or three weight classes, right?
Hell no.
Yeah,
Man,
Hell
I
no.
don't know why people keep
He's too
talking about that
small.
fight.
Unless
It's like
Tank
Tank
goes
got so
down.
much shit around his weight. Well, he got so much shit at
Yeah.
140, 135. Inui got Nakatani. He got shit at 126. What is wrong with you people? Why do
Earth
you
Bell,
want to
though,
see
I'll
that?
tell you that much.
Why
And
do you
people
people
will
want to
pay to
see
see it,
Bud
though.
versus Canelo?
Yeah.
I don't understand y'all.
People will
You
pay to
got
see
Boots
Inoue
and
fight
Virgil
Tank,
right
though.
there for Bud.
Yeah.
What? I don't get it.
Well,
I
let's do this real quick.
I don't want to. Go ahead.
Go.
What
No,
are
no.
the
I was
odds?
gonna say final predictions from everybody, real quick.
What are the odds for this?
Berlanga
You know what?
getting
I dropped
violently
the
put
ball.
to
I should have
sleep.
pulled the odds up.
Beat to death. Go ahead.
Go ahead, D Free.
No,
I'm gonna pull up the odds.
No, I was gonna say I don't want to see Inoue and Tank unless Inoue worked himself up to Tank's weight. If he worked himself up to Tank's weight, then okay, yeah, we could see it. But if he just jumping straight up there, I don't want to see that. That's like Canelo fighting Jamel Charlo. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that because Tank ain't gonna get no credit for beating a small monster Inoue.
There you
The
go.
only credit is if Instaway, I say Instaway. If Inoue beats Tank, Inoue gets all the credit.
There
Inoue
you
gets all the
go.
credit.
Then
Tank
they
don't
go.
get
Then
no.
they gonna sit up there and say, "Oh, they're gonna beg for the fight." Then they're gonna say, "Oh, Tank, you a cherry picking." Da, da, da. Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
And
Worry
by the way,
about what's in front of you.
Speaking of Tank,
yeah,
speaking of Inoue, isn't Fulton fighting tomorrow?
Yes.
yeah.
Is he?
Fulton is the fight tomorrow. Yep.
Oh
I
yeah, but he
believe he's
fighting on the prelim. I saw that bullshit. That's
Is
some
it the prelim?
bullshit.
Is it a prelim? I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Let me
I
see.
thought
I'm
that's
it was
some
gonna.
bullshit.
I know it's a.
I don't know if you guys can see
I
it.
know.
The odds. I
I
went to.
can blow it up.
It's a little hard.
Okay, I'll just read it to you guys. Then I'll read it to you guys. So, huh?
Oh,
Come on, man. Really, Sock?
hey.
I can blow it up.
I see Berlanga plus 1,000.
It says,
Wow.
I got to stop sharing this. I'm sick of you, Sock, really. Canelo's minus 1,800 to Berlanga plus 1,000. That's straight up money line. The over-under, over 8.5 rounds, minus 115, under 8.5, minus 115. So they're saying basically it's 50-50 that, they're saying it's not going to go past 8. That's what it sounds like.
And that's what I
Let's see.
said.
So they have the
That's what I
Berlanga by
said.
KO but minus 1,800, almost 2,000 to 1. Well, 2,000 to every 100. Let me see if they have knockout.
I mean, the one thing Berlanga could do is punch, but Canelo has one of the great chins of all time.
Yeah, Canelo by knockout or TKO minus 290. So that's almost 3-1. And then by decision is plus 260. So the odds are saying they really feel Canelo's going to win by knockout. And then Berlanga by knockout plus 2,000. And then Berlanga by decision plus 1,800.
If that means
Yeah.
if I put $1 on Berlanga for the knockout, I could win $200.
Yeah. So it's based off 100. 100 gets you 2,000. So
I don't want
if I
to
put $1 on it, I could win
Yeah, I'm gonna put
$200.
$5 on that shit. Fuck, are you kidding me?
I don't want to throw any shade on a fellow coach, but he's been working with Memo Heredia, and the Memo Heredia, as people know, is the guy that helped some Olympic champions, use some special Flintstone vitamins, and he also happened to help Juan Manuel Marquez in the last Pacquiao fight.
who's he working with?
Angel Memo Heredia, a
Who's he working with?
certified cheater.
Wow.
His strength coach.
And he's working with Berlanga?
He's been working with Berlanga.
Ooh, wow, that's
A certified convicted cheater. Good guy though.
Wow, but this is the first I've heard of it. This is
Yes.
This is great. It's going to inspire people to put some money on this now.
So yeah.
Wow,
And
he worked with Marquez in the Pacquiao fight.
Yes,
Which I really felt that Marquez was juiced in that fight.
You think
That was
do
the
you
fight
think,
that Marquez knocked Pacquiao out in, right?
Yeah, and I think he was juiced in that fight because
You
his
think?
back, he had all the pimples and stuff in
You
his
think?
back.
Yes. You think? Marion Jones in the Olympics, so I don't know.
Wow,
It takes more than muscle to win a fight. Ask
yeah,
Fernando Vargas, against De La Hoya.
that's true.
But it certainly does help.
It certainly
If
helps. You can't put a 6-pack on the chin.
No, but you could put some muscles on your arms and put a fist onto Canelo's chin. Hopefully, put him to sleep.
Look
I'd
what
love to
Pedro
see that happen, Sock. Love to see it happen.
This would be Pedro Fernandez says this would be an upset of epic proportions if Edger Berlanga won. Larry Merchant on Juan Manuel Marquez. He had muscles on top of his muscles.
Yes, So I mean, hey, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not accusing anybody, but Berlanga looked more ripped than usual.
That's a good point, Sock.
Wow.
All right. So the final predictions before we move on. Marky Dan, I think you said it already, but say it again.
Berlanga getting violently put to sleep, beat to death.
On what round?
Like I said, 6 to 8.
6 to 8. D
Oh,
free.
no. I said that's my Danny. That's my Danny.
Berlanga.
Yeah. I see this under 5 rounds. Under 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo. I got Canelo winning somewhere between 7 and 9.
Okay.
Canelo stopped Berlanga between 7 and 9.
Canelo's a slow starter. That's one thing. He's a great counter puncher. I don't know, man. I'm not calling an upset, but I think look, Berlanga's a C fighter. He's a C fighter, but there is
he?
Something that happens. Guys get old overnight, man. They really do. And Canelo looked in great shape, but I'm picking Canelo by decision, a one-sided decision. I think Berlanga will try, but I think there's going to be a certain point that Berlanga's going to put his hands in his pockets, and I think he'll do enough to survive. So I'm going decision. And a lot of guys around that Berlanga level have gone the distance. Ryder being one, Munguia. So although I think Munguia, he didn't really want to hurt Munguia.
It looked like he held back.
I think he's friendly with Munguia.
Yeah.
Berlanga, he may want to put his dick in the dirt. So it's going to be interesting. I mean,
Sock, you kind of took away my shine a little bit because I was going to say the same thing. Canelo hasn't really stopped anybody since
Caleb.
So
Caleb Plant.
And Caleb, I thought Caleb did well early on. I thought Caleb was winning that fight early on.
And that was personal because Caleb got a little fresh.
Yeah, and he did tell him that he accused the steroid accusations and stuff. He got Canelo mad, but at the same time, Caleb was winning that fight. I thought, at least the first 7, maybe 8 rounds, Caleb was doing some good work, and then he kind of like gassed out a little bit, and Canelo started hurting him. I don't see a knockout here. At first, I did. We saw the highlights of, I don't know if anybody's seen when Berlanga got dropped by Lubin in sparring.
That was 2 years ago. Yeah,
I saw that.
That's what I was trying to find out.
It wasn't current.
It wasn't recent. That's what I wanted to know. I've been asking around. Nobody can answer that.
No.
It wasn't recent. That was a few years ago.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right.
That was a body shot that he got dropped too.
Yeah,
that was a body shot that he got dropped by.
Okay.
Berlanga got. I think he got stopped in the Nationals also. Berlanga has been dropped,
Yeah.
And he turned pro originally at 54, so he's physically a big guy, but he's not really, I mean, look, this is the most muscle I've ever seen on Berlanga.
Yeah.
But he's 27. He's in the prime of his life.
I'm gonna pick. I'm rooting for Berlanga. I got the Puerto Rican hat on. I'm rooting for Berlanga for the greater good of boxing. We want Berlanga to win, but as we do the show every week and we talk sports and we make predictions, we got to make predictions not with our hearts, with our minds. And I'm going to pick Canelo to win a unanimous decision tomorrow night. I don't think anybody.
You know what? I'm glad y'all brought up Caleb Plant because y'all said something that was very interesting, which made it seem like I picked the right pick. Because y'all said Caleb Plant made it personal for Canelo. He wanted to stop him, and I think that's what Edger Berlanga is doing to Canelo as well. He's making it personal.
Yeah, especially in the not yesterday's press conference or the weigh-in today, but the one in Los Angeles that they had a couple months ago. Yeah, he was talking shit, and Canelo. I think Canelo wants.
I think he's annoying Canelo more than anything.
Yeah.
I don't think. Look, I don't think Canelo could pick Berlanga out in a crowded room. I don't think he knows who the fuck Edger Berlanga was until they brought his name. But he's kind of like he's annoying him, you know. Now the one thing Berlanga, he's a New Yorker. He in his mind he thinks he's better than he is. You know, he's a Brooklyn dude. You know, contrary to belief. I mean, I think the only Spanish he knows is Berlanga and Puñeta. That's the only Spanish I've ever heard him speak. His last name and Puñeta. You know, in Puerto Rico, it's true. They don't know him from a hole in the wall.
It's true. They don't.
You know, so I mean, it's kind of a false advertising. But you know what? Tomorrow, that last minute, you know, people don't have anything to do. Hey, come on, watch the fight. He's going to have a lot of Puerto Ricans behind him. You know, at the end of the day, he is, you know, one of theirs. You know, so I think he's going to try. I don't think he's. Well, we're on YouTube. But what's the algorithm?
I was in a Puerto Rican Dominican barbershop talk earlier this week. They were talking about how many rounds it was going to take for Berlanga to fall down. That's what they're talking about.
A lot of Puerto Ricans don't rock with Berlanga. I mean, they don't. A lot of them actually like Canelo. So,
I mean, you know, it's what it is. At the end of the day, all that stuff doesn't mean anything once that bell rings. You know.
One last question.
That's a good. That's the question of the night.
That's the last question. Thanks, Pedro. How many of us are willing to pay $89 for the fight? So that brings me to the question: how many pay-per-views do you think this fight does? The buys.
Well, I can tell you right now, it's gonna be minus mine because I'm gonna be at work, so I'm streaming it.
Wow,
man.
Yeah, man. We don't admit these things on the internet, bro. We you know.
Well, John Ryder.
To be honest with you, I think it's going to do somewhere between 500,000 and 600,000.
That's generous.
Nah, hell nah. John Ryder did 200,000 D Frilio. I could see this doing maybe 4. I don't see nobody paying their $80 for this shit.
I think it's going to be a lot of New Yorkers that's going to buy this pay-per-view because Edger Berlanga's from New York.
Nah, they streaming shit up in New York. They know how to jerry-rig that shit.
Yeah, half of this panel is from New York. That's all I'm going to say. So
there you go.
I'm waiting. I just ordered a new pair of binoculars from Amazon. You know, they're supposed to come in tomorrow at about 12:30, according to the my email. And there's this neighbor.
I really believe it's going to do between 5 and 6. I think it's going to be between 5 and 6.
Now, yeah, but check out how Stock's going to watch it though.
Yeah, okay. I have a question. At the beginning of when they announced this fight, there was a narrative that the UFC fighting in on the same night. Do you think that's going to take any numbers?
I think so.
Yeah, because Sean O'Malley is fighting.
Yeah. I think so.
But the UFC,
because Canelo always fight with UFC. He always fight when the UFC is on.
But not in the same town. Like this, they're like what, up the block?
Yeah, because it's at the Spear or something like that.
Yeah, the new venue, the Spear.
Yeah, that's the first ever sporting event at the Sphere.
Yeah. So
Canelo always fight when UFC is on. So I don't know if it's going to take any of his numbers or not. I don't know.
Brian Corbett says 350K. I lean that way too. I think
that's a fair number.
That's the number I think. I think 350K. That's what I'm going with too. Good job, Brian. I agree with you there. And this is how some people in New York watch it. I guess they on the West Coast too. You know, they get their binoculars and watch it through their neighbors' windows. Mm-hmm. You know, Sox definitely does that.
What I will say, a lot of Mexicans are going to buy that. They're going to buy the fight. A lot of Mexicans are going to buy the fight.
Are they
in the United States? Because don't they get it free in Mexico? Isn't it free in Mexico?
Yeah, it's free on Azteca TV.
I don't know if he did it for this fight. He did it for the last fight. I don't know if he's doing it for this fight because the last fight it was 2 Mexicans fighting. So I think he put it on free for them. But I don't know if he's doing it for this fight.
That's a good question. I didn't know that. Okay,
That's a very good question. That's true. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for the boxing segment, and I guess now we can move on. To the league. Sock, you do it.
The league where they play for pay.
Okay. Hold on, let me get up. So last week we had an interesting first week. Before we get into the picks and the standings, I guess you guys want to talk about any intriguing things that happened last week. We had 2 winners on the panel and 2 losers as far as personal teams. I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan. My team got the dub last week. They were at home against a team that's not a very good team. We didn't look too good in the first half, but our defense looked pretty good and played well. And right on cue, we got our football segment. My man Worm jumps on.
Hey,
so
Diamond
we just
David Rosario. What up? With the Arsenal.
Yeah.
That's my squad. You like Arsenal?
Yeah.
That's my squad. Tomorrow is the Derby, right? They play
Sunday. Sunday's the Derby.
Oh, it's Sunday. Okay, yeah. Big match. Nice. Yeah, man. I know you like Arsenal. See, I knew I liked you.
No, good. See, just like Notre Dame, bunch of losers.
But fucking Notre Dame. And Arsenal always finds a way to lose to the worst teams too.
There you go.
All right, let me try to pull this up. But guys, if you guys want to bring up anything about your teams, go ahead. I'm gonna bring up the.
How did we do last week? How are our predictions?
I'm gonna get it right now. I'm getting it right now.
I went 3-2.
No, we only did 4 picks. You didn't do too good.
Wait, you talking about the one that we did with Mines? You talking about the one you did with Mines?
Okay, so y'all had your own stuff on Friday last week?
Yeah, you was in it, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I must have forgot.
I'm gonna pull it up right now. Oh, look at this! Come on, Pedro, really?
Put the edibles down.
Man. I can't stand the Niners.
I will not. I've already popped them.
Damn, man.
I know. That's why you getting confused because you eating them edibles already.
What the hell, Gabriel? Stop being a judgmental bastard.
Here's the standings from last week. Socrates had a big week. He went 3-1. Tied with Worm. David Rosario, who's talking a lot of trash, but he backed it up, went 3-1.
Oh, wait, yeah, that nigga free. Yeah, he's same place as me. Go straight to hell.
Me and 503 Lion went 2-2. And D Free, Brett, and Marky Dad went 1-3. And these were the picks last week. So if anybody wants to know, the ones in green were the winners, the ones in reds were the losers.
Look at that Richard Charger.
What's up?
I think Marky Dad might be the only person that's happy about being in last place.
Long as you in the bucket with me, nigga.
Look at that rated Charger chart right there. Told you.
Let me try to see. Can I get
That's what I get for being a homer.
Yeah, I shouldn't have went with the Raiders.
Never bet like that. Never bet like that.
How's that? That's a little better, I bet.
We gave that game away.
The Rams, I could live with that. The Texans, I thought they were going to do a whole lot better than what they did.
That was a bad beat.
The team that killed me was the goddamn Browns. They suck.
Yo, they
got
bro. They got up. But if you think about it,
it's not even their defense like people tried to make it out. Their offense is terrible.
You couldn't play a worse quarterback that day with Washington. You couldn't play worse.
Yeah, that's
without Nick Chubb, they're dead in the water.
Yeah.
Actually, I will say one person that played worse than Watkins did, and that was Will Levis from Titans.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones said, "Hold my beer."
And Daniel Jones.
Daniel just said,
"Hold my beer."
Played horrible.
That's the first time a team came back without scoring an offensive touchdown in like 40 years. That was like the first time ever. They came back without scoring an offensive touchdown.
David with the data.
No, Daniel Jones.
That's what we need on that show. On this show,
he got more pick sixes for a touchdown than he threw a touchdown.
Yeah. Yep.
I tell you what, there were two bad beats because of the spreads. Because like in D Freeze picks, he had a different line in the Colts and Texans game. So I had picked the Colts on D Freeze live, but the line I think was 1.5. So we got it at 3. So I lost on D Freeze, but I won on this one. And then if you look at the Lions game, the Rams were covering the whole game, and then this got lost in overtime. Really good touchdown. Like that was a field goal.
Montgomery, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so that was like a bad beat. And then real quick, David the Worm was the only one to take the charges and the only one to win that game. With
I said it.
Yep.
I said it.
Yep.
And what was the game plan that I said? Run.
Well,
the
defense got tired. The Raiders' defense was great, and then
here we go.
Wait, so we were wait. We were only able to pick from these
did
4
not play
games.
good. Crosby could not stop the. He couldn't. Remember, I said he's versatile with stopping the run. He could not stop the run that day.
they gave up 2 big runs in the fourth quarter. That was it. They didn't do it.
Just 2 big runs in the fourth. Okay.
9 points for the Chargers were because of Raider mistakes. They were on this side of the field.
You know what the biggest mistake was, right? Antonio Pierce punting in their territory on 4th and 1. That hasn't been done since 2016 via analytics. Everybody's been going for that. How can he said it on camera too? Should I have gone for it? You see him on TV say that. That was a debacle of a play. Well, what is that supposed to do?
That was an experience. That's a guy that's coached about 10 games in the NFL. Absolutely.
Yeah, but you have staff too to tell you though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that shows the team's culture right now. It's well, I don't even know what to say with that one, but it got me to win. So thank you.
Damn, man. Dave, you're really slick with it because now you got balls. You got balls to talk about it. I wish 503 was here because 503 wanted to come was going to come and let you have it about the Jets.
He's a Texan, right?
Yeah, you got nerve to get a Sox team, and the Jets got manhandled.
So 503 ain't coming on tonight?
I don't know. He hasn't responded, so he must be busy. Maybe he's at work.
He would love it. You know why? He would love it because I'm all in on the Texans after that game. I'm all in. I just put $50 on them to win the AFC Championship game today, plus 700. This guy Trout is legit.
I don't know if that's sarcasm or if you're being legit.
No. I was thinking all week to talk to him, and now he's not here. I'm all in on the Texans, 100%.
I'm going to text him right now. Maybe he's probably at work, man. So let me just
I'm all in on the Texans and Stroud. Stroud by week 3 will be the top 2 quarterback in the league. Everybody will say by week 3.
Okay, I'll let him know. I'll let him say that if you don't jump.
He proved me wrong. He proved me wrong for sure.
And they got weapons. Look at Diggs and Mixon.
And I said the thing about Diggs too, that he's not a factor, and Diggs showed up. They proved me wrong 100%.
Nico Collins.
I told you Diggs is going to be his number 1 guy. I told you Diggs was going to be his number 1 guy. And their defense is going to
be coming along.
Yeah, and I didn't believe it. No, it's going to be a number 1 guy every week. That's how good that team is. It's going to be Dell this week, and then the other week is going to be Nico. It's that team is legit. They're legit. Stroud is serious. The coach is the truth. I'm all in on the Texans after this week. After seeing that and that 3rd down play we do to Nico, that was amazing. I'm all in.
I'm going to let him know that if he doesn't
I would have more confidence with Stroud than Jackson in a big game.
What was that?
I would have more confidence in Stroud than Jackson in a big game.
I will. Yes. Like I said, my man, that game changed. I watched that game out of most games early. And, I was all on AR-15. But AR-15 to me looks like a guy that's his peak is going to be Cam Newton 2015. He's going to have that 1 year that he goes off. But Stroud is here to stay. He's here to stay.
He can make throws from the pocket. He can obviously on the move. And I trust their management better than the Colts.
Yes. Yeah.
This guy's a good coach.
Yeah, that really changed me. I watched that game most, like I said again. It really changed me, and that team will be there at the end. They'll be there.
Shane's site. What, you talking about the Colts head coach or the Texans? Texans
team in general, the whole team. The whole team.
Yeah. Well, no, I just wanted to make a quick point about Shane Steichen for the Colts. I mean, he's the quarterback whisperer,
Yeah, yeah.
and you saw what he was able to do with AR-15 and like, well, how many starts has AR-15 had at this point?
Not,
And they
I
were
think
able to go toe to toe with the Texans.
Yeah.
I think it's been 15 since college. AR-15.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, it's not many starts, but like I said, I see that AR-15. His peak will be Cam Newton in 2015. Not a long run type of guy. They'll make a run, but there's so many times you could throw 60-yard passes on your back foot. You know.
All right. Well, let's try to get to it. I just see that Brett probably won't make it on, so I'll send me Brett's picks. The lines are going to be a little bit different than what Brett gave me, but so we'll go by whatever lines we got here. I'll put them up here. I'll probably take us off the screen so we can see the line a little better. This is by DraftKings, so to keep it consistent, I use the same site every week. So we're going by DraftKings lines, and it's DraftKings lines today. DraftKings Friday night. So I try to get it as late as possible because the line's always moving. So this is as of about 8:00 on a Friday. So what we're gonna do it different. Last week I picked the games and then we picked the teams. This week we'll do everybody, since Brett picked 4, we'll do everybody pick 4. We'll do it different. D3 usually does 5. We'll do 4. We'll make it a little bit less. And then I'll he says yeah, you're right. Sock just side text me. We'll do 4 picks and you guys pick it. I'll put the lines up. We'll go in order. I'll start. I'll see who wants to go first, and then the next round, we'll do 1 game each, and then I'll write it down, and then we'll go again. This way we don't have to do 4 straight, right? So you can hear what the other guy says and why, and we'll do it like that. So I'll start off with the guy that finished first. Well, one of the guys that finished first last week. I'll go with Worm. Worm, you pick the first game. You want me to move the lines? Hold up. I'll move it. I'll move the slide.
So I just pick any game that I like, basically.
Pick any game you see on the board, right?
Yeah.
Let me see if I could. Okay, any game you see here on the board, I'll move it. This.
I love Dallas.
All right, so let's go to the Dallas game right now. Where is it? It's against the Saints, I believe they play.
I love Dallas -6.
Dallas. All right, but in this one, it looks like it's 6.5.
Yeah, it could be 8.5. I love Dallas.
All right, so I'm gonna put you down. So Worm.
So Dallas, don't get rose-colored glasses what New Orleans Saints did last week. They did that against the worst team in the league, which I was hyping up last week, and not for nothing. I could admit that. But Dak Prescott as a big favorite at home. He's like 31, 13-2 as a favorite of 6+ as a favorite at home. They're hitting on all cylinders. And Dennis Allen, after a win against the spread, is like 6-21. So Dennis Allen, one of the worst coaches in the league, never covers anything. Give me Dallas big time. They show up, big money, big time. They're hitting on all cylinders, and they're a regular season team, as you know. So always bet Dallas in the regular season.
Yes,
this is the time to do it.
Okay, all right. I like that pick actually. I just want to read the comment. My man Brian Corbett is a Rams fan, and he's talking D3 about Cooper Kupp. Marky Dan dropped off. Hopefully he'll come back on later.
I told you that, Brian Corbin. I told you that. I said that.
Yeah. I can't wait till the Seahawks meet the Rams.
I told y'all that. He's on my fantasy squad. I told you he's going to have a 2018 season. I told you that.
Now that Puka's gone, I mean, he's definitely going to get more targets now too. So, but let's go on. Let's move it on. Sock, you were 3-1. You would also, so you could get to go next. You could pick the same game or pick another game, and I'll go to it. If you need me to move the lines, I'll move the lines.
I think Sunday is the day that a lot of Jet fans have been waiting for. The first win by Aaron Rodgers at the QB. I think Tennessee is a big rebuilding year. I like the Jets, even though they're on the road. I think they're going to win on the short week. They just need talent. So give me the Jets to cover that 3.5. I think the Jets win by 2 scores.
Jets -3.5 for Sock.
Yes.
Okay. I will go next. I'm going to go with the pick the unlikely pick first this week, and I took them on D Freeze as well. Let me just make sure what the line is here. I can't see it. It is 6 points. I am going to take the Cincinnati Bengals +6 against the Chiefs. I think the Bengals always play the Chiefs well, especially in the regular season. I know they had a bad first week, maybe some distraction with Chase and the contract and stuff, but I love the Bengals here +6. I think the Bengals could actually win outright. So I'm taking the points. I'm taking the Bengals +6 at Kansas City.
And Burrowhead.
In Kansas City, yes.
No, but they call it Burrowhead because he'd be winning there.
Yeah.
He's the last QB to win there in the playoffs, right?
I think so.
They lost the last time, I think, because of that out of bounds roughing the passer call.
Okay.
Yeah, the Chiefs won, but I think the Bengals were the last one to beat them when they Yeah. D Free, you up? Let me know if you want me to go to a particular game.
Give me the Ravens -8. I think they smashed the Raiders.
You heard that, Sock?
The train was passing through. I missed it.
Let me see what Brian Seahawks did last week. T. I did look. Yeah, we're gonna bust out this year, man.
Defense was amazing, Thomas.
What's up?
I watched that game too. Seahawks defense was on fire.
Well, so two things. One, they played the Broncos, and Bo Nix, that was his first game, so I figured that. And then the second thing, the secondary looked great. I thought the secondary was good, the linebackers, but our defensive line still is not playing the way I would like them to play. They're not really putting as much pressure on the QB. It's just our secondary is really good.
They were tackling people, not to get extra yards. They were like a bullet. They look fast. They look fast. I give them that. Even Gino looked fast with that fucking 39-yard rush.
Yeah, he looked good. But then the first half, he made a lot of dumb, throws and bad decisions. We gave them 10 points. That game could have gotten ugly.
Yeah.
Like the two turnovers, the whole first half was played pretty much in our territory. The first two
the safeties.
Yeah, the safeties. We gave up two safeties. Then we gave up 2 field goals. They could have scored touchdowns over them on the punt fumble, and then the interception. So Seattle was fortunate. The defense played really well. Yeah. So D-Free, do you want to go again? We can do it like we did last year, where we do the last person picks first in the next round, or it's up to you. D-Free, you there? Oh, Marky Dan. Oh, he's
I thought
hold on. Marky Dan's back. Marky Dan, you there? I didn't see that he jumped back on.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, so then Marky Dan, you pick next. Let me know what game you want me to go to, and I'll go to it, and you pick the spread.
Okay. I'm gonna take that Ravens -8.
Okay. And then either you or D-Free can go again. Because we're gonna do it kind of like a snake.
Marky Dan could go again.
Yeah, Marky Dan, go again.
Then I'm gonna take that 49ers -5. 2 easy picks off the board
right now.
All right, 49ers -5. So D-Free, you go up.
God damn, Marky Dan took my next pick that I was gonna take. Let me see. Go to the.
You can pick the same game. You know that, right? You guys can.
I know. I want to see if I got one that Marky Dan ain't gonna call, because Marky Dan bad luck.
In your opinion.
Go to the next slide.
I got you. We got.
You know what? I'm gonna go back real quick. One more. I'm gonna go with the Colts -3. They don't have Jordan Love in Green Bay.
The Colts -3. Yep, on the road at Green Bay. So he's got the Colts -3 at Green Bay. I'll go up next, and I'm gonna go with another bad pick. Well, not a bad pick, but a pick that usually nobody would take. So I'm gonna go with a team that hasn't beaten this team in a while. But I'm gonna take the Commanders -1.5. I think the Giants are just that bad.
Love it.
I like the Commanders -1.5 versus the Giants.
Can I say something about that game?
Yeah, go ahead.
The best.
Dave, go ahead and then Steve Free.
Yeah,
Steve Free's team.
Yeah. So about that game, I love the Washington too, and it's funny because Daniel Jones beat them. He's 5-0 against them. Correct, right?
I don't know about 5-0. They swept them the year before too.
No, he's 5-0.
I think they had a Danny Jones. He had a tie. He had like a tie a couple of years ago.
No, it was a tie. Yeah, you're right. It was a tie.
Yes.
So guess who was the defensive coordinator? Sock's favorite coach, Jack Del Rio, right? That was the defensive coordinator, right? So now the coach of the Commanders is Dan Quinn now, who was the Cowboys defensive coordinator. Guess what his record was against Daniel Jones? 5-0. It's a contract.
David with the data.
Yeah. So I think that the Commanders is a great pick because Dan Quinn knows how to stop this bum. He knows it. This is very easy.
D Free, what you got to add to that?
I mean, I agree because we also have. Not only do we have Dan Quinn, who's 5-0 against Daniel dropped all his dimes, but we also have the number one rookie quarterback out of this year's draft, as was proven last week.
I was hyping him up last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sock, you're up. Who's your second pick?
I am going to go with. I got to take the Colts against an unhealthy Packers team on the road.
Colts -3.
Yeah.
You and D Free.
Yeah, Malik Willis. I'm sorry, Jay. He's not the guy.
No, he's not. I thought he was going to be, but I thought the Titans was making a mistake when they let him go. But what I saw when he came in for that short period of time, I was like, damn, Malik Willis, you horrible.
I'm glad.
The last time we saw him, that was a night game, right? They put him in, or was it?
No, but they put him in for a couple games before Levis, I think.
Yeah, and he was just bad.
He was bad.
Yeah,
I thought he was good out of Liberty.
I think
after this year, they're playing the Colts.
After this year, he's going to be auditioning for Santa Claus because he looked like a deer in headlights.
He's going to audition for Rudolph.
Yeah.
Worm, you're up for two picks.
So I'm picking my indoor boys, the Detroit Lions. My God.
The Detroit Lions, you gave us that stat that they played like almost all their games at home this year.
Yeah, they were impressive on Sunday night. They got Montgomery and Jared Goff. My man is 26-9 inside the dome. 26-9 against the spread.
What's the spread? Let me see. I can't. This is
7.5.
Bet 365 Worm, or are you doing this research by yourself, my friend? You need to get paid.
Yeah,
I've been doing this since like 12 years old, bro.
Yeah, and this is why we have them, because it helps, and people could follow along, take his picks. I post the picks on the community board, and then after like maybe this week and next week, they see a good record by one of us. Somebody's going to follow and try to make some money. So Lions -7.5 versus the Bucs. You're up. Another pick for you.
Who, me again?
Yeah. We're gonna do like a snake.
What is the Jets and Titans spread?
I think 3.5. I think Sock took them 3.5.
I can't take that, right?
It's right there.
Yeah, you could take. Yeah, you could take the same game.
I love the Jets, right?
Yeah.
But I think even with that 3.5, I got the Titans.
You taking the Titans plus 3.5?
Yeah. Yes, because with teams, the Jets had what is it, under 25 minutes of possession last game, which was embarrassing. It was pathetic. And teams that have a time of possession under 25, they're 6-25 ATS the next game.
Against the spread. Wow.
If you're under 25 minutes of holding the ball, the next game you're 6-25 ATS. That's an embarrassment. Jets may win by 3. It's not going to be pretty for the Jets. It's not going to be pretty. They may win by 3. It's not going to be pretty, my man. It's not.
Wow.
Now,
I'm just
they
thinking
were
about
going
that
against
defense.
a really good defense in the Niners.
Yeah.
Any credence into that?
Yeah. And can I talk about that game? That was a preseason game for Rodgers. I liked how he played. I like how he threw. He wasn't the problem. It was that overrated Jet defense that never make turnovers. That everybody's so enamored by them, calling them the 85 Bears last year.
They do
That
get
team is an
turnovers,
overrated, pathetic defense. They're not what you think. They're not a good defense.
You sound like Beningo.
Well, that's what I used to call up back in the day. I used to call him all the time. But anyway, that goes unsaid. It's an overrated defense. Rodgers was the bright spot to me in the game. So he looked great. It's just that defense is overrated, never makes turnovers.
Yeah.
That's why I got the Titans 3.5.
Marky Dan, you was going to say something and rebuttal?
I was just going to say, I mean, from what I remember, the Jets defense, they got plenty of turnovers. They had like 3 turnovers in the game that Rodgers went down in last year.
That was the only what game was that, my man? Game 1.
No, you're right. That's a whole goddamn year ago. But I'm just saying that defense is who I think it is.
No,
I don't think they're overrated.
I never see so many open gaps in the field in my life on Monday night.
Sock, you're up for 1.
Give me, you know what? I like the Saints. I think the Saints keep it close against Dallas. I think there's a regional rivalry in that game. I know that the Saints lit up the Panthers, but lighting people up gives you some continuity. They have weapons, and the Cowboys look really good against the Browns. That and Deshaun Watson is probably overnight became a bottom 5 QB. But give me the Saints to keep it close. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I think it's going to be a 1-possession game.
Okay, Saints plus 6.5. It's my pick. I'm not going to do what you guys probably think I'm going to do. I will not touch that game, so you don't have to worry about that. There. I'm not
low hanging fruit.
I will not do it. I'm going to take the Texans minus 6.5. I'm all in on the Texans, like man. I like Houston at home opener. I think they're going to blow out the Bears, to be honest.
Yeah.
Texans minus 6.5. D3, you're up.
For the old.
I'm gonna go with my Washington Commanders.
Commanders minus 1.5.
Generic pick, as expected. Go ahead.
The Homer pick of the week has been brought to you by
D3.
Really?
Hey, I mean,
but to give him credit, he didn't take them first. I took them before he did, so he waited. Marky Dan, you got 2 picks now. Your last 2. We're only doing 4 this week.
I'm going to take the Steelers minus 2.5. After what I saw last week from Bo Nix and that offense, I see them absolutely getting smashed by what's his name? Goddamn, TJ Watt and that defense. So yeah, give me the Steelers 2.5, and then
I like that pick.
I'm gonna take my Birds minus 6.5.
He's taking his Eagles minus 6.5. I like that pick, but I just hate the Steelers, so I will never take the Steelers.
I understand that, but the Broncos, man, they're gonna get smashed. Yeah. I feel bad.
That's a good pick. I think they're gonna smash them too.
Man, they're gonna put hands and feet on Bo Nix.
D3, you up for 1. Your last pick.
My last pick. Let me go to the next screen.
Yes, sir. I'll go to the next one.
One
Just so you
more.
see. And then these are the early games.
Give me the 49ers over the Vikings. I don't like Sam Darnold.
49ers -5 at Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota matches up with them somehow. Minnesota beat them 2 years ago, I think, right?
And Donald played for them.
Yeah, that was with
that's right.
that was Kirk Cousins. That wasn't Sam
Minnesota
Darnold.
beat them last year.
Oh, it was last year. Yeah.
He was on the Rams last year.
Yeah.
They said
That
Brock
was Kirk
Purdy
Cousins.
might have had a
That wasn't
concussion
Sam
during the game.
Darnold.
Sam Donald was 10 for 10
Wasn't Sam?
opening up the season last week.
Nah, but that's the same head coach and coordinator, D. Free.
Yeah, he was.
I don't care about the head coach.
Donald beat the Ravens last year when he stepped in for Purdy on the
The
Niners.
head coach is proven to me, D. Free. He's proven.
Who, Shanahan?
Yeah, the coach.
No,
The coach
Shanahan,
is
but
proven, Sam
the boy for
Darnold's
the
not
Vikings.
proven.
Oh, he's a great coach, O'Connell. O'Connell's a great coach. He's a great coach.
No, the coach is good. Sam Darnold's not.
He was great,
I'm
yeah.
not worried about the
Shit, he
coach.
got him to go 13 for 13, and you don't think he's good, so
the
that says something about the coach.
10 for 10. Let me tell you something about Sam Donald, okay? I'm a Jet.
Hold up.
Tell you something about him.
I knew this was coming.
Can I talk about him?
Before you say something real quick.
Yeah.
Why am I arguing with Marky Dan when he picked the 49ers too?
Yeah, Marky, you picked the Niners also.
No, we argue. No, we talking about if Kevin O'Connell is a good or a great coach. You changing the goalposts.
Marky didn't have a second thought. He's having second thought.
It's true. You did pick the Niners.
You go ahead.
Yeah, but okay, compared to Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold as a Jet fan, Donald is light years ahead of Zach Wilson. His scrambling ability, which he didn't even show last week against the Giants, he went 10 for 10 his first 10 passes. The game was over in the first quarter. He won a game as a Niner last year against the Ravens on Christmas or something like that. This guy, he got ability.
Did you just say that Sam Darnold is leagues above Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
Nigga, so what?
No, I agree with him. I agree with him on that. Zach Wilson is horrible.
Yes,
exactly.
But do you remember when Purdy got hurt last year and Donald came in for Purdy and beat the Ravens? The Ravens, not a bullshit team, came in and beat them. Beat their ass.
But we seen Jimmy G with that same team go to the Packers and beat them at home.
My man,
Aaron Rodgers. So I mean, it's like they can do that.
There's something you didn't do. There's something you didn't see last week with Sam Darnold. He scrambles too. You didn't see that last week. I love the Minnesota in this game. I love them. With the spread, I love them. The wise guys are on them too, big time, big money on the wise guys. I'm putting big money on the Vikings.
Yo, I love this, man. This is
I think they might have to score at least 45.
Forget about it. Fucking the wise guys got it. Yo, I love this, man, and they're at home. You know, and guess what? I'm gonna love it because I hate the Niners, so I'm gonna love it. I'm not gonna be mad.
I'm not gonna be mad if I lose one bet. One pick. As long as I got the other three right, I'm cool.
No, yeah, well, we all wish that. I'd be a billionaire by now.
Oh, duh.
No shit.
I'm cool.
All right, I'm gonna go my pick. I love this pick, and I know it's against Worm's pick, but I love the Bucks getting 7.5 here. I love two scores. They could lose by a touchdown, and I'll still win. I think the Bucks keep this game close. I like the Bucks plus 7.5 against the Lions.
Yeah, you got that little hook. The hook could make a big difference. Yeah. The hook could make a big difference. But that they played against just a terrible team last week, so that makes me like you're playing a maybe top 3 team indoors. Of course, I love the indoors. It may be a slaughter.
But indoors and they always play outside Tampa Bay, so they're nice weather. So the same thing.
Can you say the Lions Texans Super Bowl?
I may do that. Thank you, Sock. That sounds great to me.
I don't think the league wants to see it, but you know, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
it's
what always messes it
Texans,
up at
Super
the end.
Bowl.
not too much sex appeal.
Sock is a vet. He's right what he just said right there, though.
Not too much sex appeal, but two big
Yeah.
cities. I mean, Detroit and Houston.
But
But
Detroit is a losing city, so they'll find a
They
way to mess
deserve
it up.
it. They deserve it.
No, they don't.
Too fucking
There's a lot of cities that deserve it that are losing cities.
They
Like
got good
Cleveland.
pizza. Any place that got good pizza, they deserve it.
did
Sock,
it
you're,
Little Caesars?
Sock, you're up.
They don't deserve
Now
nothing.
I've taken 3 road teams, and I think 2 of them are dogs. But I'm going to go with the home team on Monday night. As much as it would be great for the group chat if the Eagles lost, I gotta go with the Eagles over the
Go
Falcons.
straight to hell, Sock. Go straight to hell.
Well, because Brett is
You
an
gotta add
Eagle
to the
fan,
chat.
Marky Dan. It's not personal. And
It's
Brett's not here
personal,
today.
but you know,
So you got the Eagles minus 6.5.
it's way more fun when the Eagles lose in the chat. You have no idea.
You have no idea, Marky Dan.
You have no idea.
And that's because of Brett. Brett
Yep.
was on last week with us. He'll be on again next week.
It's the only time in New York that you can legally assault a cop. Is that
Wow.
we slap Brett around like a homo, like a homo in the 50s.
Let me tell you, Marky
Damn.
Dan, what you don't know is Brett is a guy that you love to hate.
I like Atlanta. I like Atlanta plus 6.5.
Sounds like a man after my own heart.
I think the Eagles might win, but I only think they're going to win by a field goal. I don't think they're going to beat them by a
I think
touchdown.
the Eagles fly high.
I think they're gonna beat them to death, D3.
Can I say something about that game? What's the difference? What did Cousins get killed by? The edge, right? Last week? The edge rushers, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
The Falcons have the best interior O-line in the NFL, right? And the Eagles have the best interior defensive line.
Great matchup.
It's going to be a big contrast to what you saw last week, what happened to Cousins. That interior O-line is going to protect him in this game. Big time. Because the strength of the Eagles is the interior defensive line. So it's going to be a big contrast what you saw last week with TJ Watt. He just started in the backfield the whole game. So think about that. He's going to have time to throw than last week for sure. And that game was close. That game was close.
Lindstrom,
he was getting smashed every time. So
Lindstrom might be outwormed.
I'm getting a
Oh,
clean
really?
touchdown.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, and not only that, I think our edges are really underrated.
Eagles?
The boy we got from New York, he played well.
The
The
Eagles?
linebacker London, he flashed a lot last week. And Nolan Smith, he's coming along. So I like our edges.
Yeah, but your
not only that, I
secondary was bad last week, though.
What you say?
The Eagles secondary was bad last week, big time.
True.
Yeah,
We had
I don't know if that was the field. I don't know if Pele's field was there, but it did look bad.
I think it had a lot to do with Jaden Reed. He's just a matchup nightmare. What's the name of the other boy? Dobbs. He's nasty himself.
Yeah. They had a lot of guys. Yeah. And Reed was returning punts too, which was surprised.
I don't know, but I do agree. It could be a close game. Looking at the
It's gonna
matchup now,
it's gonna
you
be
got
a
Kyle
contrast.
Pitts, and
Yeah.
then what's his name? Drake London.
Yeah.
Then you got Bijan coming out the backfield. But Kirk Cousins didn't look right last week.
We couldn't
If he
plant
was
his foot.
on, then I might agree with D Free, but I don't think he is.
He
I
couldn't
don't
plant
know
his
what you're
foot.
gonna get from the rookie.
Yeah. He couldn't plant his foot at all last week. Cousins on the throw. It was bad. This, when you come back from those Achilles, just like how Rodgers looked on Monday night, you don't want to be scrambling out left or right. You just, that's in your mind. So,
Kirk Cousins need to scramble. Go ahead, scramble. You got your money, Kirk.
with that Achilles, you're not thinking about scrambling, man. That's the thing. I think we see Penix in week 5, man.
Wow.
Fly Eagles.
Well, Worm,
Wow.
Worm, you're making a lot of big predictions here, and you're the last one to go. So what's your last pick?
Who picked the Pittsburgh Denver game?
I did.
You picked Pittsburgh, right?
Yep.
The money spot last week was Tomlin on the road as a dog. If you bet that your whole life, you have a nice house in Yonkers, right? But Tomlin as a favorite, Tomlin as a favorite on the road, that's 32, 40, and 2 all time. Tomlin on the road as a favorite. Tomlin is, when he's a favorite on the road, he's not a rah-rah guy. I don't like that. And I think last week, even though the Broncos lost, they looked better than any game they played last year. Even though they lost, they looked better than any game they played last year. 100%. I got the Broncos. What is it, plus 2.5?
So you're taking the Broncos plus 2.5?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I don't trust Tomlin on the road as a favorite. He's not that guy. He's not going to rally them up. Tomlin's all rallying them up. Tomlin hasn't drew a play in 20 years to this thing.
How do you see the Broncos offense getting past the 50-yard line?
They look better than they did last year. In one game, what I watched almost all that game last week with the Seahawks. That team looked way better than they looked last year. And I don't, you know what it is? It's more that I don't trust Tomlin as a favorite on the road. I don't trust Tomlin as a favorite on the road. I just don't. I never did. For 20 years, I haven't. He's not that type of coach. And I just think Knicks is and people are giving Knicks a bad rap. Knicks could scramble. Knicks, don't be surprised. You see a little Oregon and Knicks there and Auburn.
What do you think of Fields? Do you think what Fields played? Your assessment of Fields last week.
So that's the whole point of me going for the Broncos. You're going to get 2 turnovers with Fields as quarterback. You already get into 2 turnovers, a fumble and an interception. So I'm taking that into account, and I'm thinking, like I said, my man Tomlin doesn't like to travel, and he doesn't like to be a favorite. Tomlin hates being a favorite. He likes to go to the chalkboard and say, "Look what they said about us." Tomlin's not. He's a motivator. He hasn't wrote a play in 20 years. What plays does Tomlin do? He just talks. I love Tomlin.
Wow.
I love him so much.
This is excellent. I got to give you your own segment.
I think
the same thing like Coward. All Coward ever did was yell.
Exactly.
Yeah, all you do is yell.
Man, listen, they're gonna run. They're gonna pound the rock with Najee Harris. They're gonna pass.
The guy hasn't pounded the rock since Alabama, except on Notre Dame's guy's chest. He hasn't pounded shit since he beat Notre Dame in the national championship.
Yeah, goddamn skeptic.
No.
Well, guys, Jesus. So that's the picks. Brett's picks. He took the Colts. He wrote -2.5, but we have it as -3. He took the Bucks also like me at +7.5. He took the Giants. So he's the only one to take the Giants +1.5. And he took the Chiefs. So he goes against me. He took the Chiefs -5.5, but I have it at -6. So that's Brett's picks. I want to do something for the last thing real quick. Just for the hell of it, let's do something. Let's give our underdog of the week. Everybody's gonna go pick one underdog of the week that we feel could win outright, but underdog that could win outright.
I got a good one.
Okay, well, I think I know which one you're gonna pick because you just spoke 10 minutes about it. But
I'm not picking that shit. I'm not picking that shit twice, so I could get fucked twice. Fuck that.
Go ahead, Warren. What's your underdog of the week?
No, you guys go first. I'm thinking about it actually.
All right, anybody has an underdog right now?
No, well, move it up.
Scroll up. Yeah. I'll scroll it up.
Jump out the window.
Like that, an underdog that could win outright, and it doesn't matter what spread because you could take the lowest spread, right? And that's their best chance. The closest game. But
I'm gonna be rooting like a motherfucker for the Raiders. So give me the Raiders.
Damn, I'm gonna pick that motherfucker, yo.
So Sock takes the Raiders.
Damn. The wise guys love the Raiders. That's a big spot for the Raiders. They're gonna win that fucking game.
I'm telling you.
My underdog is Tennessee.
The Titans.
That's a great one. That's a great one.
There's one that I definitely won't pick, but I'll wait till everybody goes. But I think that's probably to my opinion, is probably the best underdog there. But I am not picking it because I just can't pick it. Fuck you. My underdog of the week, I'm leaning towards this team. I just want to make sure. Underdog of the week. I'm gonna go Cleveland. I'm gonna go the Browns.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good one. We didn't even talk about that game.
Yeah,
That's
I think I'm gonna beat to death. Yeah.
Marky Dan, you have an underdog. So Marky Dan and Worm are the only ones that we need an underdog from.
Okay, let me see here. You can't scroll up more. That's it.
No, I could go. I'll go to the next slide. Just let me know so you can see all the games. It's the last one. So that's the latest games, the night games, and the afternoon games, right? And then here's the other slide. Okay. And if you got a team in particular, let me know, and I'll go to it. You can look at it before you take it.
No, I'm gonna just say I'm gonna take the Bengals. Joey Burrow, Joey B, 3-1 against Mahomes in his career. Despite the fact they're 0-2. Yeah, they always start 0-2 still.
That's a good pick. I like
really,
the Bengals too.
Yeah, I don't really mess with none of the others.
Yeah, they're gonna start 1-2. You just said it. Why you picked them? Anyway.
What's right there?
I got my former protege, Sam Donald, upset in Minnesota. Vikings in Minnesota, my boy. The protege.
Okay. Those are all good picks. I'm surprised nobody took the Patriots at home. But that would have been a good. They're underdogs, which I was shocked that they're, Seattle traveling to the East Coast. That's Seattle usually does well. Seattle usually does well. Hold on. Seattle usually does well in the East Coast, except for last year. Last year was before that they were phenomenal on the East Coast.
That fact, really? Yeah. That was true.
Off the top of my head, because last year I think they won one game on the East Coast, and that might have been the Lions game. And I think I don't think that was a night game either. That was a day game. But yeah, they got smoked by the Ravens, and I forgot the other team they lost to on the East Coast last year. But yeah, they usually play well on the East Coast, but I'm shocked. They're favorite on the road at New England after New England, had a good win. So I would have thought people would have took the Patriots. But.
Tommy, that defense looked legit to me. I watched most of that game for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, because I had a prop 2 touchdowns for Kenneth Walker, which they took away. Lost me $150. But that defense looked legit, Tommy. And that if you're gonna bet that game, put that under on that fucking game because I don't know. To me, out of all the defenses I saw last Sunday, the Seahawks defense looked fire. I don't know if it was the throwback jerseys that maybe fucking think about that. They look amazing.
Our secondary is supposed to be really good.
No, they look good, but they were tackling. They were on point. They were on point. I don't know. They were on point to me. Just like I saw the Texans, how their offense worked and the team worked. They impressed me.
Okay. So let me go over the underdogs. So Worm got the Vikings, Sock with the Raiders, D-Free with the Titans. I got the Browns, and Marky Dan with the Bengals. And then I'll post all the picks on the board. A lot of good picks, a lot of good reasons why. I mean, this was a good segment. I mean, hopefully we do this every week with Brett and 503 be on next week. I'll hit up 503 tomorrow, and he'll give me his picks. But I'm intrigued to see how we all do. No, I'm definitely gonna tell him. I might even clip it and send it to him. So I might even clip this section and just send it to him. But Worm, you've been great, man. You got all the numbers. What you should start selling your picks.
I've been doing this. I mean, the first loss I ever had is a great story. Tampa Bay went to Green Bay, and I went to my bookie. They said Tampa Bay never won a game over 35 degrees. It was 97 or something. And I was like, hit my last $100 as like a 7th grader. I'm like, I got Green Bay. No way they're gonna win. The first fucking game Tampa Bay ever won over fucking 35 degrees. They win the fucking game. So since that day, I always study my shit, but that's what it is. I always study. That's what I am. I mean, what is you guys are the best too. What you guys do with boxing is just what I do with football. So
I'll tell you, I'm gonna look out for that Pittsburgh-Denver game, man, because you put out a lot of points, and that goes. That's intriguing because, I mean, and that's why the line is so low too. You would think the line may be a little bit higher, but 2.5. The way interesting. So
it's that Tomlin factor, man. He's a rah-rah guy. He's not rah-rah this week, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So we got some big games this Sunday. We got the fight tomorrow, Anything happening in college? You know, I'm pretty frustrated with the Irish.
Oh my God!
Can I say one thing about that loss?
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
The worst loss since the Bush push in my lifetime. It was pathetic. It was embarrassing.
Worse than Marshall?
That's another one.
Shit.
This was the
that
biggest.
Marshall loss was bad, bro.
One was the Marshall because the MAC always beats us for some reason. But
the Glenn Foley game.
Oh, but that was that shit. Oh my God, the one after Florida State. Yeah.
After beating fucking Charlie Ward.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was a high scoring game, and Notre Dame came back, and then that field goal at the end.
But you know what makes it worse, Tommy? That the playoff structure, that we have an opportunity to be there, you know, because of the enhanced playoff. Yeah. And we spit the bit in week 2. That's what makes it worse. It's not like, you know, back in the day, all right, you know, you lose, that's it. We have actually an opportunity, and we spit the bit already at week 2. Already.
Now we have to run the table. The schedule seems easy. I mean, the Florida State game looked hard, but after they lost their first 2 games, they don't look as hard as they, you know.
Nothing seems easy after you lose to Northern Illinois. There's always a doubt in your head. That's it.
Because I know we got Purdue tomorrow. I think that game's in Purdue, right?
It opened at 14, right? 14 point. We opened at 14-point favorite. It's down to 7.
It's 7. I thought it was 9.5. Jesus.
Well, I thought it plays at 7.
Oh my God.
So what does that show you? There's no trust in. There's no trust in the Irish.
Yeah.
There's no Lucky Charms, bro.
It's sad. Last year was that Ohio State game was the one that really, because they should have won the Ohio State game, and it's like they quit after that.
Yeah,
that's true.
They and then you know they messed up. It was bad. I wouldn't say bad coaching, but you know they had like 10 guys in the field. They dropped the interception in the end of the game that would have sealed it. Like it's my life as a Notre Dame fan. It's just.
Before we go, one thing, Freeman, I always like the rah-rah guy, you know, like a Salah came in rah-rah. That works to a point. Yeah. When it gets down to analytics and structure and plays like Belichick and Ernie, his coordinator with him, it's about plays and manipulation. But locker room love only lasts so long. You have to be down in the plays, in the trenches, and manipulate the team. Don't manipulate the guys in your locker room to make them feel good. Manipulate your opponent, just like Belichick did for 20 years. It comes down to that.
But another thing is that the portal's hurting them. Like, in my opinion, like the portal's supposed to be a good thing, but now people are reaching out and looking for all these kids. You know, what happened to growing your own players? Like, getting your quarterbacks and grooming them up. You know, that's 2 years in a row they went to the portal to get a quarterback, and he's a bum. It's like, this guy's trash.
They got a rushing quarterback. They didn't rush one play with him.
Oh man, it's just ridiculous.
Before we go, back in the day, used to be the grade structure. If you're not an A student, you can't go to Notre Dame, right? Yeah. And they lowered that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's the portal thing. It's just a structure to me. It's a structure to. I'm not trying to sound like a sour grape guy, but it's a structure to make Notre Dame not what Notre Dame used to be with Lou Holtz, and I don't see any future with Notre Dame football.
They're always going to be solid. They still recruit well. They still recruiting well, but now, like I said, with the portal, it changes everything now. You know, like you still recruit, but kids are still transferring. People getting throw money now, you know, to come to this school, to go to that school. So it changes up everything. So,
unless every Notre Dame recruit has a father like me, they ain't going there. Yeah. So
listen, Kelly was a great recruiter. Kelly was getting the kids. He was getting top talent, but he sucked as a coach. He couldn't coach them up. He was horrible. He was horrible in his game, in his game coaching. He was horrible in making adjustments in the second half. But he was a great recruiter.
Yeah. But look at him now, too.
Yeah. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. This was a great show. We got a good fight tomorrow. We might do a pop-up live tomorrow, maybe after the fight. I don't see why not. We could, if anybody got time, if anything intriguing happens, maybe we get on, we talk about it. One last thing I just want to throw out there: go Yankees, baby. Any Red Sox fans?
Definitely doing a pop-up if Canelo gets stopped.
Sock is a Red Sox man.
We
today.
Got to do a pop-up.
Yeah, I'll let's do a pop-up tomorrow after the fight.
All right.
All right.
All right, gentlemen.
Any last thoughts?
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Great work, everybody. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Have a good night. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. I appreciate everybody that came through to watching the replay. Appreciate you guys. And if your bookie's giving you a hard time,
you got no guts, you got no class, you got no responsibility, you are an abusive power, and you can believe it, you're an asshole.
Yeah, if your bookie doesn't you tell your bookie that if he doesn't give you any more credit, all right? So I don't know if you could read that. That was a Flair meme they made out of because sometimes your bookie would give you the excuse. I remember you're like, but you're already in the hole for 1,000. You asked for another 500 credit, and so you just let them know. All right, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one.